Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, we're here checking out the newest episode of the Book of Boba Fett. This is the Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 6, Chapter 6. We'll find out the title when we get into the episode. It's crazy that things turned around for the most part in last week's episode because we had the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett. But it wasn't the Book of Boba Fett. It was the Mandalorian Season 2.5 or the Mandalorian Season 3 premiere, basically. But it was a really awesome episode. Opens up with Din, and we focus on Din the Mandalorian for the whole entire episode. It really only became a Book of Boba Fett episode in the last 30 seconds when Fennec shows up. But before that, it's all about Mando. Now, they give a reason for him to show back up on Tatooine and everything, and how that kind of ties into the Book of Boba Fett. But we have to see where he's at, I guess, at this point. And obviously setting up Season 3 of The Mandalorian, which they did some things I wasn't expecting in terms of him being basically shunned and basically being pushed out at being a Mandalorian because he has removed his helmet and he has to go back to Mandalore, which was, you know, been discussed a lot in terms of what they're going to do with Mandalorian Season 3. And so we're thinking he's going to go back to Mandalore because he has the Darksaber. But apparently he has to go back to Mandalore to go into these, like, deep within the planet itself in these caves or whatever, this cave system, I guess it's like shut down, you can't get through it or whatever, to bathe in this, like, ancient water to basically be seen as a true Mandalorian again. I'm not really sure. Other crazy stuff happened in the episode, of course. But, yeah, we basically had the best episode of the show without Boba Fett in it, which is unfortunate. But for me, it's like this. Overall, but leading up to episode 5, I was overall enjoying the show. It could have been, obviously, a lot better, but I was enjoying most of the things they were doing. I kind of wish they were just handling it better, and then handling the things I didn't like and changing them up or actually doing something different with them. But overall, the show has been, you know, an interesting ride. But then episode 5 definitely kicked it in high gear, and it was all focused on Mando, which, of course, it goes to show how much we love that character. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into now. Let's check out episode 6. We end with him saying he's going to go see a little friend. So I don't know if we're going to see that in this show or that's going to be in Mandalorian Season 3. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see what we do based on last week's episode. I'm now more excited for this show. Let's get into it. Episode 6.
Do you know where you are, gentlemen?
Oh.
If you gentlemen load up your wares and head back to where
Get the fuck out.
Chalk this one up to you guys reading the map wrong. Think it through.
Think it through. I like that. Think it through. Okay. Oh, okay. R2. Yes.
I'm looking for Skywalker.
And Grogu. Oh, what the hell? What to say? Oh, it's like a temple type thing up there. Oh, they're placing rocks. Like ants, kind of, like working together.
Is that a bench?
Looks like it.
Will I be waiting?
Oh, up there on the top. Yes! Oh my gosh! He's like, I don't want to meditate, I want to eat. He knows what's happening. He knows. Wow, it looks so good. I'm just amazed at how much better it looks here. The frog. Oh my gosh, all the frogs. That's really cool. Pretty much showing you can do all this. You can lift all of them at once.
I want to tell you about someone you remind me of a great deal.
Oh, Yoda, right?
His name was Yoda.
Yes.
Size matters not.
That's awesome.
That's how he talked. Would you like to remember?
Would you like to remember back on? Oh, okay. Oh shit. Oh my god.
The galaxy is a dangerous place, Grogu.
Understatement. What? What?
Didn't expect to see you here.
I'm an old friend of the family.
Oh my fucking god. No.
Grogu its first student.
Oh, he's the first student. Okay.
Know how he's doing.
I warned
Would you
Your
warn him?
attachment to Grogu would be difficult to let go of.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
Mandalorian foundling in my care.
Are you doing this for Grogu? Or are you doing this for yourself? Perhaps he is a Padawan now.
Yes, he is a Padawan now.
I came all this way.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there.
Go see him. Or maybe it's not the right choice. I don't know what the right choice is. Oh.
Make sure he's protected.
So he's making the choice not to go see him.
Really? That's all you got? Don't try. Do.
Don't try to. Come on. Nice. Oh my gosh. Nostalgia flowing back of Empire Strikes Back.
Very good.
Oh shit. Nice. I'm loving this. I'm loving this fucking episode, guys. It's so good. Oh, wasn't expecting it. Get back up.
Get back up.
Yes. Look at that jump. Look at that jump. He's gonna break it. He's breaking it.
Sometimes the student guides the master.
That's true. I love that they met. We were wanting this. We were wanting this.
Sometimes I wonder if his heart is in it.
So much like your father.
Damn.
May the force be with you.
Man. I wanted to see more of them together. It's okay. It's okay. That's awesome.
I'm here at the request of Fennec Shand.
Okay. Awesome.
This is the Mandalorian, Djarin.
Hello. Hello.
Thanks to him and Chrysanthemum, we now have enough experienced muscle to...
Hello.
He's new. Still a bit
He's
jumpy.
new.
Is that a Naboo starfighter?
Yes.
That's what it started off as.
We took out that dragon. My people don't want to fight no more.
It makes
Good
sense.
for now.
Who the fuck? No! No fucking way! No way!
And who might you be?
Whatever Fett is paying you,
Oh my fucking... It's Cad Bane.
and all you got to do is stay put.
Oh my god, he looks fantastic. Cad fucking Bane.
Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer who will the Empire.
Oh my god. This is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Oh, the tension. Ooh! Damn. They left the box they carried in.
Wait, you forgot your katana.
The Mandalorian wanted you to have this.
Yeah.
This
Lightsaber.
is a lightsaber.
Yeah. It's green. Yeah.
It belonged to my teacher, Master Yoda.
Yoda's lightsaber? Really?
And now,
A hard choice to make.
which do you choose?
I think he's gonna pick the lightsaber. I don't know. Dave Filoni. That makes so much sense. Dave Filoni directed this episode. Of course it is. I don't even know where to begin. This freaking episode, every few minutes, just kept dropping major reveals, major bombs. Oh my gosh. And literally a bomb. This fucking episode. Hey, I'll give them this. At least this episode had Boba Fett in the book of Boba Fett. I'll give them that. Okay. Where do we begin? I think we need to start towards the end with a character that we have been asking for a long time in terms of live action, thinking, could this individual show up in The Mandalorian? And then people start speculating, well, what if it's Book of Boba Fett because of how it's slowly building up to this war with the Pikes and everything and who may be showing up. Cad fucking Bane shows up and he never reveals his name when he walks in, when he shows up. He never reveals his name. Of course, we know who he is, but still, he looks so good. He looks so good. And I think that's the same voice. I think that's the same voice of Cad Bane. I could be wrong, but it sounds exactly like Cad Bane from the animated series. Holy shit, that was awesome. That was so freaking cool to see him. And I'm assuming we'll see him again, of course. I mean, come on. You don't have him randomly show up in this episode, and then the finale is the next episode, and he's not in it. It just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. We'll see, though. Holy shit, that was fucking awesome. Got me so hyped. But what even built even up the more hype is that we literally follow Mando, and he goes to the planet. And I'm trying to remember, did they name the planet? Because like I think that's the same planet that Luke's school temple was, the temple for his school or whatever. And then of course it all Kylo Ren and all that shit. So regardless, Mando shows up and there's R2. R2's there. And then R2's taking him somewhere to like where they actually build the temple, because it's actually complete at the end of the episode. And then they build him a bench and basically tell him, wait. He wakes up and I could not believe it. Ahsoka Tano was there. Is this a dream? Because when they had Ahsoka show up in Mandalorian Season 2, and then in the same season we had Luke Skywalker show up, people have been begging for the interaction between Luke and Ahsoka. They've been like, please, because there's a lot to discuss there. There's a lot to go there. One of the first things she says is, I'm a friend of the family's. It's a lot more than that, but okay. And then what they really do in a beautiful way, which ultimately it's going to hurt a lot of us because a lot of us fans have been watching The Mandalorian and got really attached to Mando and Grogu. The idea that Mando traveled all this way and Ahsoka making the point, are you going to see him or for yourself? And basically implying that when he sees you, it's going to cause a lot of confusion, because the whole point of a Jedi is to not have that attachment. And he was so attached to you. Like, he saw you as his father, basically. And he really loved and cared for you. And the way of the Jedi is not that. Now, obviously, we know the whole debate about, that there's certain things the Jedi should change about their whole policy. But in terms of attachment and everything. But still, he traveled all that way. And then Luke used the gift, which was a little like armor thing, which was so adorable. Used it as a training thing. But when Mando leaves without seeing Grogu, I'm thinking that we're going to cut and we're just going to follow Mando for the rest of it. No, we actually cut to Luke and Grogu doing some more training. And then Ahsoka walks in a frame next to Luke and they're having a conversation. She said, reminds me of your father. And it's just like small little things like that. And by the way, Luke Skywalker looked fantastic. The CG, in my opinion, looks so much better here than in Mandalorian Season 2 finale. I don't know what exactly they changed. I'm assuming they probably used deepfake. I'm assuming there was a lot of deepfake going on here, because the Season 2 finale Mandalorian, that was, a lot of work in, like, I guess a program, but it wasn't deepfake. Because since that came out, people were doing all these different deepfakes, and I think they even hired somebody who was deepfaking stuff, and I think even deepfaked, can't even speak, Luke, and made a better version, and they hired him, and maybe that's why they hired him, because they had plans to do a bunch of Luke, because they did so much more Luke in this than, of course, in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. There was so much more Luke, a lot more dialogue. And at first, and throughout the episode, they were doing parts where you hear Luke, and obviously you're not seeing his mouth move because it's the way it's framing on someone else, or he has his back to the camera. So they were doing a lot of hiding in that aspect, but there was a lot of moments where he's actually speaking on camera, and that was, that's a tall order, especially with them trying to recreate a character that cannot realistically be shot, because unfortunately Mark Hamill is, of course, too old. I'm wondering if he came back for this, because he came back for the Mandalorian Season 2 finale to be a part of that. I'm wondering if he was actually in scenes in terms of, reference shots and whatever. I wonder if he was, on set. I don't know, but I'm hoping that comes out, like reveals he was. But regardless, because what was it? Episode before episode 5, they had the guy who was the body double for Luke Skywalker as one of the X-Wing pilots, the other guy. So people are like, okay, well, he's already on set, so they probably used him for Luke if Luke's in the show. Because there was all the theories. Is Luke going to show up? He did. So what I liked is that he was training Grogu. He's being patient with him. Grogu, of course, is, he's 50 years old, but he's still a kid, a baby. So he's going to take some time to understand the gravity of this. And then at the end of the episode, the temple is built with those like ant-looking robot creatures. Like they're giant ants, but they were like working together, like building a temple. It was really cool. They completed it, and then Luke sits there with Grogu and goes, okay, so we have 2 choices. You can either have this armor that Mando built, and he told him, the Mandalorian wanted you to have this. Basically telling him, this is what Mando, dad, whatever, wanted you to have. Or, here's my master, the person who trained me, Yoda, here is his lightsaber. Now, I understand why they cut. I think maybe in the next episode they might reveal what Grogu decided. I'm guessing Grogu decided to choose the lightsaber. That's my guess. I could be wrong, because they might go the direction of Grogu. Maybe he doesn't want to be a Jedi. Maybe he doesn't want to do all this training. I mean, he was definitely getting into it with I forget the exact naming of it, but it was the device that Luke used to train, and Grogu actually destroyed it, I think. But he was jumping around all over those rocks in that little lake when, of course, Ahsoka and Luke were talking after all that happened. But I don't know. If Grogu chooses the lightsaber, it makes sense. If he doesn't choose the lightsaber, that also makes sense. I don't know what he's going to do. But Luke makes the point. You'll be my first student if you accept this, the lightsaber. But if you don't, then you're going to go back with Mando. Like, basically saying, like, I think Luke will respect his choice if he chooses to go with what Mando was offering him in terms of the armor. But Luke also understands the importance of Grogu and the fact that he helped Grogu kind of remember a really bad memory. So I'm like, okay, so is he going to see his home, or are we going to see where Grogu, Yoda comes? Because there is no real explanation yet about what species Yoda and Grogu are and where they're from, and they're implying that no one really knows. So I don't know. But the fact is, I'll help you remember. And then he cuts to him as like even smaller, witnessing the death of these Jedi against the clones. Order 66. Execute Order 66. Wow. So all of that. So I'm loving that. I don't know if this is implying that we're going to get a Luke Skywalker show. I don't think they're going to be able to pull that off because of how much they would have to do with that unless they had focus on other characters outside of Luke for a Luke Skywalker show. I don't know, because there was something about Tales of the Jedi, something that it's like a show or something that's being made. I don't know if that has any connection to Luke or anything, but anyways, don't know. I don't know. So we had a little Boba Fett in the episode. They were basically having this hologram. They're all standing around. There's Mando. And they're talking about, the Pike Syndicate and how there's an all-out war coming. We need more foot soldiers. And that's where Mando, of course, goes off and talks to, I forget his name. He said his name there when he was talking to Cad Bane. Cod or Cos something. But he's no, he wasn't the deputy. He was the marshal. Regardless, he was the guy, of course, who had he was Timothy Oliphant, is how you pronounce his name? The actor. He was in the Mandalorian Season 2 premiere with Boba's armor. He's the one who had it on. That's what drew Mando over there. It's like, that's not yours. Give it back. It was cool to see him again in the opening of the episode. I'm wondering what he found in that box, because they cut away. But he gets shot. I don't think he's dead, though. I could be wrong, but I don't hope he's not dead. But I mean, it makes sense. Cad Bane doesn't miss, right? No, give him a point. So I don't know. Mando was trying his best to find him, but this might entice the town, if he is dead, for them all to rally and to help out against this war. There's still many other theories in terms of who may be showing up in the finale, in terms of Kira, in terms of Han. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you just never know. You just never know. Because this show has proved already, even though the first 4 episodes just done some interesting stuff. Episode 5 focused on Mando, totally switched it up and totally brought a lot of people on board. And now with this episode, holy shit, this episode. Now, I'm not even going to say anybody's predictions on what's going to happen in the finale next week is crazy, because this episode freaking delivered so much awesome shit. There's no telling what they're going to do in the finale. There's no telling. But I'm ready for it. We also have the Pikes at the end destroy that bar that we've been following since the beginning of the show. I think everybody's pretty much dead, unless they're implying that maybe the main girl who was running it, the main Twilight, maybe she got out. I'm not really sure, but like when they walked in with that little box and then they sat down and they ordered drinks or whatever, and then your helmet's cleaned. No response. And they leave immediately without the box. It's so obvious what's happening here, but I'm like, uh-oh. Boom. Basically, Pikes are setting the stage right now. Blowing up that bar. Blowing up a very local location that a lot of people go to hang out and party and have fun. It's gone. Up in flames. Jesus, I'm trying to think anything else in particular I want to mention in this episode. I love the part where he was flying around the Jawas. I think they have the crate dragon skeleton on the top of their little, I forget what they call it, their machine, their vehicle, but they're like, hey, like they know it's Mando. I just love that. But anyways, this episode was fantastic. It was so good. I didn't want this episode to end. I could not believe what I was seeing throughout this episode. It was so well done. It pretty much, these 2 episodes, episode 5, The Return of the Mandalorian, this episode, I think it said something stranger come out of the desert or something, the title. But anyways, these last 2 episodes have been phenomenal. And it's unfortunate that literally the last episode had no Mando, just Fennec, and this episode had Boba in one scene. It's unfortunate, because this show, I think we had so much Boba Fett in the first 4 episodes, but you get my point, like, he should have more of a role in this in terms of these episodes, but he had none in the last one, and he only had one little sequence here. Maybe we're gonna get a lot of Boba Fett in the finale. We'll see. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. What do you guys think, guys? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comments below. What are your predictions for the finale? Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comments below as well for that. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.